Once again, welcome to ECHR Tools. The second part of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, basically all in line with the International Human Rights Day, which is the 10th of December, forthcoming International Human Rights Day, which is 10th of December 2023. Obviously, following on from our previous video, we were talking about our human rights and how all are encouraged to get involved, take time for our busy schedules in life to learn about what our human rights are within a nation. This is all basically following on from our previous videos in relations to the government Rwanda scheme, basically sending, or the intention of sending genuine asylum seekers to Rwanda, and the Supreme Court ruling last month against the government in stopping this Rwanda scheme. There were obviously, if that had been allowed to go ahead, the breaching of national laws being the Human Rights Act 1998, and also the regional treaty being the European Convention on Human Rights, ECHR, and also the international breach of international treaty being the ICCPR, being the International Covenant for Civil and Political Rights, and also the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And so I started basically reading the articles and got to Article 15, so to be continued in this video from Article 16 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which came into force on 10th of December 1948. Following on was the ICCPR, being the International Covenant for Civil and Political Rights, which was in December 1966, and came into force on the 23rd of March 1976, of which the United Kingdom has ratified this international treaty, and therefore this has been enshrined into national law to ensure that the contents of the ICCPR are basically upheld or adhered to within the United Kingdom. Obviously, this Universal Declaration of Human Rights basically in the preamble states that all men are born equal and free and have the right to enjoy dignity, equality, and freedom. However, as we know, basically predating the establishment of the United Nations in 1945, was the slave trade in America. And so under the Declaration of Independence 1776 and subsequent the Bill of Rights in 1789 was basically led to the abolition of the slave trade and obviously the establishments of the rights of man. And so come Second World War, obviously it became evident the atrocity on humanity, and also the most devastating and basically damaging abuse on human rights, and obviously the Holocaust. These are all evident and obviously paved the way for the Declaration of Human Rights, the Universal Declaration. But then following on, we have seen further human atrocities and abuse of rights, which was also evident in apartheid South Africa, which then ended in 1994 with the release of Nelson Mandela from prison to become the first black president of South Africa. It was basically the abuse of the rights of the black majority by the white minority in South Africa. In more recent times, we have also seen the issue, the story of George Floyd in the USA. Once again, the abuse of his rights leading on to his death. And obviously the birth of the Black Lives Matters movement and this whole global protest, basically in the seeking of compensation for the family of George Floyd. And so this is why it is important that on this forthcoming International Human Rights Day on the 10th of December, you as an individual and a citizen of the United Kingdom do take your time off from your busy lifestyles to get involved in any community projects that promotes and educate people on their human rights. Remember to like our videos, share, add your comments and contributions. It's an educational platform, basically sharing knowledge. If you have something meaningful to say that will help in the promotion and education of the rights of individuals and citizens of this nation, then feel free to add your contributions and comments. Be constructive and objective in the way that you wish to contribute. So I'm going to go further on to read from Article 16 from the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, 10th of December 1948. Further on from this video, we'll go further to read the contents of the ICCPR and also the ICECR, being the International Covenant for Economic, Social and Cultural Rights. That will be done in subsequent videos. So following on from Article 16 says, men and women of full age, without any limitation due to race, nationality or religion, have the right to marry and to found a family. They are entitled to equal rights as to marriage, during marriage, and at its dissolution. So basically, it tells you about that equality of right between a man and a woman, or male and female, in their process of getting married and forming their family, during their marriage, and also in the event that those marriages don't last till the end, when divorces come in, that both men and women shall be treated equally under the law. Article 16.2 says, marriage shall be entered into only with the free and full consent of the intended spouses. So basically that goes on to tell you that forced marriages are also basically forced, and false marriages are also prohibited under the Universal Declaration, Article 16.2. So Article 16.3 says, the family is the natural and fundamental group unit of society and is entitled to protection by society and the state. And so this tells you the importance of family being the fabric, the core of society and state. And so this provision has been made here for the family to be protected by society and state at all costs. So we go on to Article 17.1 says, everyone has the right to own property alone, as well as in association with others. No one shall be arbitrarily deprived of his property. And so here you are. This talks about your right to property, to own your own property as an individual, or if you wish, with a group of people. And that obviously you are once again protected under the Universal Declaration for Human Rights. Article 18 says that everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. This right includes freedom to change his religion or belief, and freedom either alone or in a community with others, in public or private, to manifest his religion or belief in teaching, practice, worship, and observance. So that's freedom of religion there. You have that right to change if you want to change from Christian to Muslim, Muslim to Christian, Christian to Hindu, or whatever religion, Scientology, whatever it is that you want to do, that you are protected under this Universal Declaration to do what you so deem fit for your own life. Article 19 says everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. This right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive, and impart information and idea through any media and regardless of frontiers. And so probably this is what I am involved doing, basically going out there, researching this information, bringing it out there. That is definitely under, basically doing that under my own rights, which is obviously given under this Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And so, you can basically express yourself, express your opinion under any media forms, and also beyond basically international, basically beyond national frontiers. And down to the person that wants to engage with you, being your audience, and also if they also wish to express their opinion, they are free to do so. Article 20 goes on to say everyone has the right, Article 21, everyone has the right to freedom of peaceful assembly and association. Article 22, no one may be compelled to belong to an association. And so there has also been an issue here, probably may have involved former Home Secretary Suella Braverman, where there was that the potential need to basically pass through a law that was going to stop people from having peaceful demonstration. And so the right to have a peaceful assembly is your right enshrined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And I'm very sure that it is better expressed under the ICCPR, which has been ratified by the United Kingdom in 1976. And also no one can be compelled to be a member of any association. Article 21 says everyone has the right to take part in the government of his country, directly or through freely chosen representatives. So this is Article 21.1, says that you as an individual do have a right to participate in the governance of your country. Everyone, Article 21.2 says everyone has the right of equal access to public service in his country. Article 21.3 says the will of the people shall be the basis of the authority of government. This will shall be expressed in periodic and genuine elections, which shall be by universal and equal suffrage, and shall be held by secret vote, or by equivalent free voting procedures. So this basically talks about, in effect, if you were to sum it up, the democracy and your right to basically select your representative to represent you in Parliament, that is in the UK. And so this is the democracy, and it also says that the will of the people shall be the basis of the authority of government. Now, this is a very important article, being Article 21.3, shows that the government is formed by the people, and therefore the government must adhere to the will of the people. And so if the government does the opposite, then in effect is not only going against the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, but also going against the core fabric of democracy. Article 22 says everyone as a member of society has the right to social security and is entitled to realization through national efforts and international cooperation and in accordance with organization and resources of each state, of the economic, social, and cultural rights indispensable for his dignity and the freedom and the free development of his personality. So your right to social security is expressed under Article 22. So Article 23. So Article 23 says everyone has the right to work. So this is where we get more into the ECHR being the International Covenant for Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights. So here it says everyone has the right to work, to free choice of employment, to just and favorable condition of work, and to protection against unemployment. So this is very clear. Once again, your right to work, right to a fair condition of work. Everyone, Article 23.2 says everyone without any discrimination has the right to equal pay for equal work. And so there shouldn't be any discrimination, i.e. for work done regardless of gender, race, disability, social background, and what have you. So that, where we've seen in the past a job that, may be paid differently if a man did it or if a woman does it. This is prohibited under the Universal Declaration. Article 23.2 says that if there is a job that needs to be done, then the pay should be actually related specifically to that job, regardless of who does the job. Article 23.3 says everyone who works has the right to just and favorable remuneration, ensuring for himself and his family an existence worthy of human dignity, and supplemented, if necessary, by other means of social protection. So this talks about when you go out there to work, that you should be getting decent reward or pay or earnings for your work. And this should be done in a dignified way, and that if your pay or earnings is not sufficient, then it needed also to be subsidized by necessary means of social protection, which one will say state support. Article 23.4 says everyone has the right to form and to join trade unions for the protection of his interest. So this is also a very important article 23.4 for the individual to join a trade union for whatever work that they do, because it is also known, in the times of Margaret Thatcher, when the trade unions came under huge attack, and therefore it almost caused the entire collapse of trade unions within, or maybe as an individual joining trade unions in their work was totally discouraged and made very difficult. But as you can see here, it is a right that should be upheld by the state. And so the individual does have the right to actually join a trade union when they work for any organization. It should be something that should be really encouraged, because that is very prominent within the EU. Article 24, everyone has the right to rest and leisure, including reasonable limitation of working hours and periodic holidays with pay. So this is also very important. Article 24, once again expressing the right for an individual to rest and have leisure out of work, and also to have pay when they have these holidays. I think it is also evident in the UK, where I think it's probably the Uber, basically a company that those Uber drivers were able to get some sort of compensation for holiday pay. This would have once again originated from this article. So Article 25, everyone has the right to a standard of living adequate for the health and well-being of himself and of his family, including food, clothing, housing, and medical care, and necessary social services, and the right to security in the event of unemployment, sickness, disability, widowhood, old age, or other lack of livelihood in circumstances beyond his control. So this is Article 25.1, which is once again a very important article that you the individual must know, or the citizen must know, that it is the duty of your state or the duty of this nation to ensure that you have adequate health, medical protection, that you have food, clothing, housing, medical care, and necessary social services. So once again, you see governments adopting austerity measures and pulling out social services. These are all actions that basically goes against the Universal Declaration of Human Rights under Article 25.1, and also the International Covenant for Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights. As we get into further videos, you may become aware of the contents of these further international treaties that the United Kingdom is a signatory to. Article 25.2, motherhood and childhood are entitled to special care and assistance. All children, whether born in or out of wedlock, shall enjoy the same social protection. Now, this is also very important, basically protecting the rights of mother and child, and also making that provision that all children are protected, basically have the social protection or protected by the state, regardless of the fact that the parents of those children were married or not. They have equal rights. Article 26.1, everyone has the right to education. Education shall be free, at least in the elementary and fundamental stage. Elementary education shall be compulsory. Technical and professional education shall be made generally available, and higher education shall be equally accessible at all on the basis of merit. And so here we once again see the cost of tertiary education or higher education. At the moment, students, basically graduates, picking up bills in excess of £50,000 just to get their degrees. These are unreasonable, disproportionate, and to a greater extent, a breach. Clearly, I can say it's a breach of Article 26.1 under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, that education should not be costing us people within this nation that much money. It shouldn't, because we pay taxes, and the taxes that we pay partly should be allocated for our education, for for social services, and for National Health Service. And so even if there has to be some fees that needs to be paid by home students within the UK, the amount shouldn't be anything near to what is being paid. It is disproportionately too high and may deprive citizens or people from basically getting involved and attaining their higher education. And even where they are able to get on it and get these loans, the loans are disproportionately too high and leave such unreasonable burden on basically students or individuals. We carry on. Article 26.2 says education shall be directed to the full development of the human personality and to strengthening of respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms. It shall promote understanding, tolerance, and friendship amongst all nations, racial or religious groups, and shall further the activities of the United Nations for the maintenance of peace. Article 26.3 says parents have a prior right to choose the kind of education that shall be given to their children. And so this, once again, is an important, Article 26.3 is also an important aspect that parents do have the right to ensure the manner in which their children are being educated, and that they can object to certain forms of education if they do find them deemed to be contrary to what their wishes are or how they wish their children to be educated. They have the right to pull out their children from certain classes if they feel that does not basically meet the needs or the way that they expect their children to be educated. Article 27.1. Everyone has the right freely to participate in the cultural life of the community, to enjoy the arts, and to share in scientific advancement and its benefit. Article 27.2 says everyone has the right to the protection of the moral and material interests resulting from any scientific, literary, or artistic production of which he is the author. So if you produce your work, then you have that right to maintain or retain that work as your own work. Article 28. Everyone is entitled to a social and international order in which the rights and freedom set forth in this declaration can be fully realized. Article 29(1). Everyone has a duty to the community in which alone the free and full development of his personality is possible. Article 29(2) says, in the exercise of his rights and freedom, everyone shall be subject only to such limitations as determined by law solely for the purpose of securing due recognition and respect for the rights and freedom of others, of meeting the just requirements of morality, public order, and the general welfare in a democratic society. Article 29(3) says that these rights and freedoms may in no case be exercised contrary to the purpose and principles of the United Nations. So the final article of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that came into force on the 10th of December 1948, the last article, which is Article 30, says that nothing in this declaration may be interpreted as implying for any state, group, or person any right to engage in any activity or to perform any act aimed at the destruction of any of the rights and freedom set forth herein. And so it goes on to basically confirm that the state or institution or any person may not act against the stipulations set forth in this Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So hopefully you have learned something from this. And on the 10th of December, I wish you a happy International Human Rights Day. Get involved, take time to learn what your rights are, and do not hesitate to engage a lawyer if you feel at any point in your life that your rights are being abused by anyone or any institution within the country. Thank you once again for watching ECHR Tools. Remember to like our videos, share, add your comments and contributions. Once again, as I always say, it's a learning platform. Be objective and constructive with your contributions and your comments, and express yourself, express your thought. This is a platform where we can all come together and learn. And the more that we can all devote time to learn about what our rights are as a people, the better that it will become for all of us in this generation and the next generation to come. Thank you for watching ECHR Tools. Until our next video, have a good night.